A ton of great games between them in the past. It's hard not to get amped up when they face each other. I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Scola, and it's Carroll in at the small forward.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Clock is at 3. Here's Galloway. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Toronto with the ball. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
On defense, Toronto. Last time they met was in Toronto.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Yeah, it was really simple. I mean, you look at the numbers, they did a better job of knocking down the free throws.
Hey guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
Greg, you're right. With Porzingis, it made sense for him to wait one more year. Clark has a lot to learn, but still comes over, as a much talked about player, a much better player than had he declared last season.
I agree with you, yet he'll still need time to develop, but all the ingredients are there. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Yeah, the Latvian had a great shot for his height, and he'll be an interesting stretch for in the NBA.
Good call.
Here's Anthony. 20 points for him last game against Minnesota.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game.
At the elbow, it's a Afflalo. It's stolen by DeRozan. And, oh, here we go, DeRozan.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Now, here is Lowry. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Scola dishes to Valanciunas.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Knicks trail by 4. Anthony kicks to Galloway. Lopez a screen. Galloway the pass to Porzingis. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Porzingis has got 7.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Outside Lowry. Scola dishes to DeRozan. He came off the screen and finished with authority.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Perfectly designed and perfectly executed.
There's Galloway. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Here's Porzingis, 4 on the shot clock. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. DeRozan against the Afflalo. Offensive rebound, feeds it to Lowry. 1:57 left in the first quarter. Back to Valanciunas, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot, he'll shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Porzingis. Williams, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Grant in for Langston Galloway. And then for Toronto, Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Scola. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Joseph. The feed to Ross for the three, and he gets the bucket. Ross has got himself on the board with 3 there.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Stolen by O'Quinn. Grant kicks to Aflalo. That's tipped. They retain possession. Back to Williams. Dishes it to O'Quinn. 6 on the shot clock. Seraphin. The shot no good. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. Carroll against Grant. Passes it to Joseph. Ross in the corner. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Valanciunas passes to Ross. Kicks it to Joseph. The Raptors need to get a shot off. And it's good. Ross has got 5 points so far.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Now Grant. Pass to Seraphin. From 7. Can't hit. And so the first quarter is in the books. And DeMar DeRozan, star for this Toronto Raptors team, he said he wants to bring them back.
A lot of people never really pay no attention.
Let's face it, it's never easy for Toronto to get the attention that Clark, the U.S. teams get. That's just a fact of life that even Vince Carter at his best couldn't change.
And, you know, I don't even know if winning a championship would change that. Quite honestly, even if DeMar won the MVP. Just saying.
Yeah. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
So for Toronto right now, Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Terrence Ross is out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Biyombo at the 5 down low.
All he needed right there was simply to set himself up and then relax and shoot the ball. He threw himself off balance for no reason.
Grant dishes to Galloway. Here's Anthony. And the Knicks good for 2.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Grant against Lowry. Pass to DeRozan. Oh, trying for it. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. You look at the Raptors. They are the favorite right now to lock up the #1 seed come playoff time. Sitting in first place right now and not looking like they, are going to be slowing down at all. And checking out New York. Just way behind.
And right now, for the Knicks, they weren't part of the discussion of teams on the rise as we came into the year. And now, quite frankly, we know why. If anything, they've taken a step back.
Yeah, and that's got to be terribly discouraging for them. I mean, I know how badly they wanted to contend for a playoff spot, but it's just not happening.
Just not happy with how his team is playing, and they just have been on the wrong side of this run.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? Sometimes just a pause in the action, which is what a timeout can give you, is enough to change things around.
Porzingis, he's checked in for the Knicks. And Toronto also making a switch. Scola's checked in. Lowry against Grant. And DeRozan kicks to Scola. It's tipped. And now the fast break. Anthony with the ball. Nice D from DeRozan. Raptors with the lead.
And right before Carmelo went down with the injury last season, it seemed like he had added the fadeaway to his game, molded a little bit after Dirk Nowitzki.
And that one's good. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's O'Quinn. Dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
DeRozan passes to Scola. 3 on the clock. Biyombo, no luck.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Gas break. Here come the Raptors. Ross leading the charge. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
They just have not been able to handle DeRozan. He has 8 points. He has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Lopez, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's a Flalo in for Langston Galloway. And Toronto also making a switch. Damari Carroll's checked in for Ross. And Lopez gets it to go.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboard right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Grant against Lowry. He dishes it to Carroll. Outside DeRozan. And he goes big with the dunk right over Jaren Grant.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Perhaps.
hey, he's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
Porzingis can't hit. Toronto leading by 3. Outside DeRozan. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Raptors have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line.
The Knicks making a switch here. Serafin's checked in. Then for the Raptors, Jonas Valanciunas comes in for Biyombo. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. 3-pointer, Lowry, and that one's good. And the Raptors lead by 7.
You know, the defense was lax right there, and he's able to make them pay.
Flalo dishes to Carmelo. The pass to Grant. 1:27 left in the first half. Excellent use of the screen that time.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Wow, he got whacked on that, which shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
Derek Williams, he checked in for Carmelo Anthony. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Raptors.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well. Seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
Raptors leading by 3. And here is Joseph. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Offensive rebound. And Valanciunas kicks to Carroll. There's 37 seconds left now here in the second. And it's Lowry again missing.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Now, here's Joseph. There's the dish to Patterson. Valanciunas passes to Joseph. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Joseph's got his first bucket of the night. Grant. we're through the first half of basketball here.